Great morning. Great morning. Fantastic morning. Rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. One more time, I know it's soldiers. Rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine. Give God the glory, glory, soldiers of the Lord. Good morning, great morning, fantastic, marvelous morning. Why? Because I can breathe. You can breathe. He chose you and me to rise this morning to give him the honor, the glory, the praise, the acknowledgement, right? The homage. Woo! There, by the grace of God, there go I. Huh? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind and now I see. Your grace and mercy brought me through. I'm living this moment because of you. I want to praise you and thank you too, for it was your grace and your mercy that brought me through. Welcome to January the 20th, Perspective with Edwina B. Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, y'all. That's me. On the AA Daily Reflections, we pause and ask is the topic for today, incorporating the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family and most recently the teachings of Dr. Sonja from the P3 University. 3 things that has lit me on fire. Yes, and I hope I can ignite your fire just by being used through this instrument by the spirit that's within of a nearly 33 years in a 12-step program utilizing 12 spiritual principles of Alcoholics Anonymous. And no, I don't represent Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't represent the Ruiz family. I don't even represent Dr. Sonja from P3 University. But I am an active member in all 3 because I want to learn. I want to strive. I want to increase my spiritual wisdom so that I can continue to be used by my God to be prepared for things yet to come. And so I want you to listen to these words. This is a new release that's coming out by one of my favorite artists. And he's my adopted son because his mother and I share an addiction, right? But God took her home, but he is carrying the torch and being used, right, to teach others that we can, we will, we do recover. Close your eyes, listen to the words, a moment of silence while we play. Oh yeah, has the Lord been good to you? I know he been good to me. So listen, okay? The Lord's been good to you, say, oh yeah. If he ever made a way, say, oh yeah. If he ever brought you out, say, oh yeah. If you know God is good, say, oh yeah. If the Lord's been good to you, say, oh yeah. If he ever made a way, say, oh yeah. If he ever brought you out, say, oh yeah. If you know God is good, say, oh yeah. I've been down and out, but I bounce back every time they count me out. It's hard to keep me down when I'm God's boy. He turned my life around, that's why I'm filled with joy. And every time that I called, man, he made a way. See, he's a real reason why I'm here today. So I'm walking on my purpose, follow God's plan. And when I get weak, I'm in the Potter's hands. He never left my side, never left my side. And when it's time to ride, man, it's time to ride. And I never walk alone, cause he's by my side. That's why I preach with so much passion, fire in my eyes. And you don't even know what the Lord's put me through. The same thing he did for me, he can do for you. That's why I love him, ain't no other God above him. I feel his presence, wish I could reach out and touch him. If the Lord's been good to you, say, oh yeah. If he ever made a way, say, oh yeah. If he ever brought you out, say, oh yeah. If you know God is good, say, oh yeah. If the Lord's been good to you, say, oh yeah. If he ever made a way, say, oh yeah. If he ever brought you out, say, oh yeah. If you know God is good, say, oh yeah. Woo! Say, oh yeah. If the Lord has been good to you, say, oh yeah. 32 plus years ago, nearly 33, will be on February the 23rd of 2023. My God, who I didn't know at the time, met me, delivered me from underneath a parked car 3 o'clock in the morning in the streets of Philadelphia, getting high and doing all kinds of sexual favors with my stepson. Yes, under the influence of drugs and alcohol, we transformed. And I put myself underneath that parked car to keep my stepson from hurting me, right? And I had a flashback from my past. How at the age of 34 did I get underneath this parked car? See, I can share the glory. I can share the praise. I can share the triumph because he brought me through. Oh, yeah. And I hollered out to him to take me out this life or show me a better way. And I haven't looked back since. I only look back to evaluate, right? To understand, to obtain a different perspective, and to help somebody else, right? And so, woo, I am on fire. Woo. So listen, I want you to share with me in your comments today how this platform is helping you. And even if it's just one person who responds, oh yeah, it's okay with me. Because when I do and touch just one, my job for God is done. So let me know if this platform is helping you any way, shape, form, or fashion to take you, as Dr. Sonja would say, to your next level. As the Ruiz family, to become aware, your awareness, right? To become free to be who you are, and the 12 spiritual principles. So when I said that God met me underneath the parked car nearly 33 years ago, I looked nothing like this. As a matter of fact, that's when the mask was taken off. Because I only weighed 90 pounds. My face was sunken in. I had dark rings around my eyes, right? My hair was short and nappy. But God met me just the way I was and accepted me just the way I was. And so I only put on my little mask to demonstrate that I'm free to be me. From recovery, emerge empowered. To do what? To give others hope, help others prosper equally. So that's why I am relaunching my Free to Hope World Tour now as a transformational speaker. Thank you, Dr. Sonja from P3 University. Yes, transformational. I do not know where God is taking me, but I am ready to go because he accepts me just the way I am. But the masks must come off. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I am free to be me and accept me just the way I am. That's right. Uh-huh. Huh? You still love me? Even if you don't, I know you do. But I love me. I value me today. I respect me today. Why? Because the God of my understanding put me on a pathway of recovery, right? of no return of going back underneath that parked car. So for that, I give him the honor, the praise, the glory, and most importantly, the acknowledgement. The mask must go. All right. So I want to put these back in to articulate, right, and pronunciate is better. But if they look like they're going to drop down, I'm gonna take them out. All right. And then I may have to come to you one day without them because sometimes I can't find them. Right. That's why I got 1.5 sets left. All right. To God be the glory. Don't you want to be free? Free to be you, free to be me. Oh my God, it's such a great feeling. All right, let's get to the topic today. Okay. All right, I got to put my glasses on. And let's go to the topic today. And it's going to be, right, the AA Daily Reflection reading for today. We pause and ask, incorporating the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family, and now Dr. Sonja's transformational teachings from P3 University. Let's see how I can share my perspective on this reading for today. Thank God for recovery. Donald Lawrence says, listen, we are not a natural being having a spiritual experience. No, no, no. We are a spiritual being living and encased in this natural vessel, walking this earthly journey. I kind of paraphrase, but you get the gist of it, right? Listen to the message and don't focus on the messenger. All right, so let's go. Add to the stream and put your spiritual ears on, and we're going to decipher this once I read it to you. January the 20th, AA Daily Reflection. We pause and ask. This is from AA.org. And the co-founder, Dr. Bob and Bill W., makes a quote from page 87 of the Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book that states, as we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful and ask for the right thought or action. And the person in recovery shares his perspective. Today, I humbly ask my higher power for the grace to find the space between my impulse and my action, to let flow a cooling breeze when I would respond with heat, to interrupt fierceness with gentle peace, to accept the moment which allows judgment to become discernment, to defer to silence when the tongue would rush to attack or defend. I promise to watch for every opportunity to turn toward my higher power for guidance. I know where this power is. It resides within me, as clear as a mountain brook hidden in the hills. It is the unsuspected inner resource. I thank my higher power for this world of light and truth. I see when I allow it to direct my vision. I trust it today and hope it trusts me to make all effort to find the right thought or action today. Did you like that? Right? We pause. We pause. We pause and ask. We pause. Y'all familiar with the stop, count to 10, take a walk, this and that, because you know yourself, right? I know myself. So when we are, and we are, and we are, and our body and our physical and our mind is ready. Pause, pause, and ask your higher power, whoever you choose to call him, it, her, what? To help you make the right decision and the right action. So let's decipher this. I love this, okay? Okay, it says here, As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful and ask for the right thought or action. That's why we became alcoholics. Some of us, right? We didn't pause. We didn't stop. No, 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 no. Every time we were frustrated, agitated, this, and that. And even sometimes when we were happy, joyous, and whatever, celebratory, right? We drank to celebrate. We drank to drown. We drank to remove that stressful situation, right? We did not pause. We went right to the bottle. Whatever your addiction is, we go right there, right? But listen, sometimes during the day, and that's why I always say you never know what cards are going to be dealt you today. The question that our 12 spiritual program asks, are we able to maintain an emotional, spiritual balance? Right? That we don't allow anything or anybody that much power to make us go back to drinking. Oh, hell no, 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 no. So we learn in our 12-step spiritual program, along with the 5 agreements, and now with the teachings of Dr. Sonja from P3 University. No, woosah! Because we give others and things the power to drain us, to take us to some place we don't want to go. And guess what? They ain't going there with us. Like death institutions in jail. How about that? All right. So we learn in our 12-step program, right? As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful, and we ask for the right thought or action. That's a tall order. But guess what? It works. It works. It works. The Ruiz family, but the 5 agreements, it says, right? Be impeccable with your word. I'm not going to let what you say affect me. I'm going to not even what? Okay. I am not giving anything or anybody that much power ever again to put me back underneath that parked car. I am impeccable with my word. I'm not gonna take anything personally, whether it's a pat on the back or a criticism or judgment. Woo! If it don't apply, let it fly. Throughout the day, we make all kinds of assumptions, right? So when we make assumptions, we are all in our head, and majority of the time, is not all of the time, we are wrong. So we practice being impeccable. We practice, right, not taking anything personally, and we practice, right, not making any assumptions. Therefore, we are able, as the 5 agreements say, to do the best that we can. Yes, right? And so through the 12 spiritual principles of Alcoholics Anonymous, that's exactly what we do. Because it says in our 12-step, we practice these principles, spiritual principles, in all our affairs. Woo! Incorporating the 5 agreements was basically saying the same thing. And with Dr. Sonja, her transformational teachings, yes, I'm on fire. All right, so let's see what the reader shares his perspective. He says, right, today I humbly ask my higher power for the grace to find the space between my impulse and my action. Let me stop there. Today I humbly ask my higher power for the grace to find the space between my impulse and my action. And they want to give some examples, but let's marinate on that. Today, this moment, I want to ask my higher power, right, to give me the grace to find, right, to find the space between my impulse and my action. Now, I know I'm a spontaneous person. I know it. And it's a way of being free. But I also have to remember that not everybody is spontaneous like me. nor is everybody going to appreciate my spontaneity, right? But I know. And so I had to learn through going back in my inventory how that spontaneous nature started, right? To crack a joke, to be the center of attention, right? To do something flirtatious, right? Just to get your impulse. But guess what? And then when the response from the other person or the other situation is negative, oh no, that got me in trouble, right? So it may give me a thrill to be spontaneous, right? To be impulsive, but it has also caused me some challenges, right? So it says here, right? We ask for the grace to find the space between my impulse and my action. So let's see what some of the examples are here. To let flow a cooling breeze when I would respond with heat. Ooh, through a program called Mothers in Charge, I taught a class on anger management. And through that, those who were ex-offenders and needed to learn how to, right, not respond to things that would get them and develop anger in them. And so through our teachings, we put the letter D in front of anger, which means danger. And Leon, neon lights, and right. So here it says if we don't want to go back to jail, I don't want to go back to drinking. I need to recognize this anger. I need to get help with this anger. I need to ask my higher power, who I choose to call God, to help me with this anger. We need help. Don't think you can do it by yourself. We think it, and those in recovery, but we couldn't. And we found out because it led us back to drinking. It led us back to jail. Oh, hell to the no. So we have to ask this higher power, right? To let flow a cooling breeze when I would respond with heat. To interrupt fearness with gentle peace. To interrupt fearness with gentle peace. If y'all can only imagine, you know that when you are getting ready, your body, your temperature, your facial expressions, your impulsiveness, you know it's coming before it comes because your body gives you signals. And the idea is to put a cap on the first sign that you're getting it. And we practice. You got that. No problem. All righty then. Okay. You see how quick, just in my presentation of that to, you know what? It's just that simple. That's all you really got to do. Switch, pause, and say, I'm not going to let you take me there. I'm not going to allow you to make me make a bad decision. Oh, no. All right. And so we ask ourselves, I ask our higher power to give us the gentleness of peace. Okay. Then another example, it says here, right? To accept the moment which allows judgment to become discernment, right? And the fifth agreement talks about that, right? It talks about being skeptical, being doubtful, right? And learning to listen, right? And so this thing works, y'all, because when I start judging myself, oh, I can't do it, I can't. No, I'm being impeccable with my word. I'm sinning against myself, right? Or when I see somebody, oh, they ain't gonna make it. They think they this and that. I'm committing sin against them. I need to be impeccable with my word. No, Edwina, you can and you will. And then with the other person, you give a moment of a prayer, encouragement, support, right? A spirit of discernment. Because remember, this is just a vessel. Recognize the spirit that's operating through that vessel. Then you have that spirit of discernment that you will not judge or criticize, because there, by the grace of God, there go I. Okay. All right, I'm getting riled up again. All right, let me see. So then it says here to defer to silence when my tongue would rush to attack or defend. Alrighty then. We have become so automated. We have become, as the Ruiz brothers say, so domesticated. We have become so brainwashed, right? Oh my God. We have become so dependent on our old belief system, but that old belief system and everything that was involved put me underneath that parked car. And right. And so I need to remember, right? I need to remember, right, to defer to silence when my tongue would rush to attack or defend. And that's the same thing when we talk about taking things personally or when we make an assumption. Right? We think we right. We think we right. Oh, no, you go. No. Defend against what? Your opinion? What is your opinion? Everybody got one, like they got a butthole, right? You know, but we had to learn that. But because we have been used to automatically reacting, the 12 spiritual principles, right? The UE's 5 agreements and Dr. Sonja's transformational teachings said, no, hit that pause button. Hit that pause button. Sometimes, if not most of the time, silence is the best defense. That will help you maintain your peace, your joy, and your happiness. Okay, and got but a few more minutes. I tell you, I get into this. So he says here, I promise to watch for every opportunity to turn toward my higher power for guidance. He says, I promise. And this is what I do. Lord, help me. Help me close my mouth. Help me change my attitude. Help me change my perspective. Help me get rid of the judgment against myself and others. Help me like he helped me from underneath that parked car. If he did it for that addiction, alcoholism, he can do it for any other character defects that I possess. So in this 12-step recovery program, using these 12 spiritual principles, and now the 5 agreements, and now the transformational teachings by Dr. Sonja, yes, I promise every opportunity I get, right? I want to pause, right, and turn towards my higher power for guidance, okay? The writer goes on to say, I know where this power is, huh? I don't have the power. You don't have the power. And how many of us have tried to control things? And they say the minute you think you have to control something, it's already controlling you and you're already out of control. So when people like myself get involved in this spiritual journey and elevate our spiritual knowledge and our wisdom, that we obtain a psychic change, right? AA could stand for attitude adjustment. We obtain a psychic change, a transformational change from negative to positive, right? So we know what's working. And I know I did not save myself while underneath that parked car. This higher power, who I now know is a loving and caring God, did it. So I'm going to draw on that power every chance I get. Okay. And so he goes on to say, right? Some examples, right? I know where this power is. It resides within me, as clear as a mountain brook hidden in the hills. What an example, right? I did not know while underneath that parked car that within every human creation, and but particularly human, there's a light reserved for our God who created us. Somewhere deep down in our spirit, our soul, right, through this body, that's reserved only just for him. And when we call him in, and he knows when we are ready, that light begins to illuminate. It was there all the time. Woo, Lord. Okay. And then he says, I trust it today and hope it trusts me to make all effort to find the right thought or the action today. Let me tell you. because of me doing my inventory and because of me reading the four agreements, and now I'm being a part of Dr. Sonja's transformational teachings, right? I know, I know that I had to ask myself a question when I'm thinking about something, when I want to do something, when I want to perform an action. I need to ask myself, Edwina, is what you thinking, what you want to do, is it going to feed the flesh or is it going to feed the spirit? And sometimes, listen, y'all, I'll tell God in the fellowship, look, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm going on here. I'm going over here. And I go over there and I get what I get. But guess what? It is not in vain, nor is any of my past in vain because I learned from it. Yes, but when I ask myself that question, majority of the time, I yield to the spirit and not the flesh. Because had I not, I would not be sitting here before you today. God prepares us for things yet to come. And so as I close, I want you to recognize that we are his children. And as long as we ask our parent for guidance, direction, we know we're going to obtain it if we listen with our spiritual ears and we look with our spiritual eyes and we embrace the spiritual love. Until next time, if it's God's choice, we will see you tomorrow. Woo! I'm on fire!